welcome to my channel. Tonight, we are spending a night in ancient Rome for those who find solace in nighttime adventures. Welcome back to the series. If this is your first time joining us, allow me to introduce myself. I am your guide to the unexpected. Together, we explore history, mythology, and folklore from around the world through stories that bring the past to life. Now, without further ado, let's embark on our nocturnal journey. Our first stop, the city after sunset. I awaken to the sound of hammers beyond the thin walls of my room. I hear the shouts of street vendors and the murmur of early morning prayers. Dawn has not yet broken in Rome, but it stirs. The night has been long, filled with the laughter of friends and the clink of glasses raised in celebration. My head pounds with the rhythm of dancing feet and the music's fading strains, but a smile lingers on my face, for last night was unforgettable. Now, as I rise to greet the new day, the city stirs. It yawns and stretches, its slumber coming to an end. Slowly, life begins to pulse through its ancient veins. The streets fill with a steady clip-clop of sandals and the rumbling of carts. Vendors start their day, their voices echoing with practiced sales pitches. The baker at the corner, his oven already warm and waiting, pulls dough into thin sheets. His movements practiced and swift. The scent of fresh bread mingles with the tempts of citrus and the sweet aroma of figs ripening in the sun. The Forum, once a bustling hub of activity, now comes alive with a methodical scrape of merchants unfurling their wear. Bright bolts of cloth shimmer in the morning light, while nearby a cobbler hammers away at a worn sandal, his tools ringing out like tiny hammers against the rising sun. The towering marble columns seem to drink in the golden light, their surfaces warming as if basking in the glow of a new idea. Soon, the open space echoes with animated chatter, the murmur of bartering voices blending with the bleating of sheep brought for sacrifice. The sun climbs higher, bathing the city in its embrace, and the rush of daily life envelops me as I step out into the vibrant chaos. The quiet of the night seems like a distant memory, a peaceful interlude before the dawn. The energy of Rome surges through me, drawing me into its current, reminding me that here, even the night finds a way to bloom into life. Our next stop, the sound of silence. Beyond, a silver sickle against the velvet sky casts long, dancing shadows on the cobblestone streets. Rome has hushed. The boisterous laughter of taverns has softened to contented murmurs. The rhythmic slap of dancers has faded into memory. The cool breeze whispers through the Forum, rustling the leaves of ancient trees and setting the white sails of boats moored along the Tiber to gentle sway. As the night deepens, the city breathes a sigh of content. The sounds of daytime commerce have melted away, leaving behind a stillness that's not quite silence. In the distance, a lone flute trills a haunting melody, carried aloft by the night wind. From a shadowed doorway, the murmur of voices floats out, spinning tales of love and valor, or perhaps recounting scandalous gossip shared only under the cloak of darkness. In a quiet courtyard, a fountain weeps softly, its water cascading over marble and echoing into the still air. Each drop a tiny hammer blow on stone, a counterpoint to the chirping of crickets nestled in the shadows of crumbling walls. Above it all, the dome of night studded with diamonds, each star a silent witness to the sleeping city. Even the mighty Tiber, rushing and roaring by day, seems to pause in reverence. Its current slows, its surface a mirror reflecting the starlight, broken only by the gentle lapping of water against the bank. Here in the heart of ancient Rome, where emperors have walked and legends have unfolded, the night reigns in all its quiet glory. It's a world away from the clamor of the marketplace and the din of chariot wheels. It's a time when the city dreams, and you're invited to listen closely. For even in the quietest hours, Rome never ceases to amaze. Our final stop before the morning light. The first pale fingers of dawn stretch across the eastern sky, touching the horizon with hues of rose and gold. Rome awakens from its slumber, stirring from a night of dreams and quiet musings. Cut the darkness, once thick and heavy, now lifts like a curtain, revealing a city poised on the edge of a new day. In the distance, a rooster crows, its call echoing across the empty forum. The sound, carried on the gentle breeze, is a harbinger of the day, a promise of the warmth to come. Prue, from a nearby vineyard, the soft bleating of sheep drifts toward me. They stir, preparing for the day ahead. Their woolly bodies, still drowsy, begin to move, nudging each other away. Slowly, the sounds of the waking city begin to weave together, forming a tapestry of morning. The rhythmic pounding of a blacksmith's hammer blends with the gurgling of water from an overflowing fountain. The screech of a peacock mingles with the measured clip-clop of a chariot's wheels, rolling over cobblestones. One by one, houses creak as their marble doors are pushed open, releasing shafts of sunlight and the promise of a new day. The scent of incense mingles with the earthy aroma of wet stones, carried on the breath of awakening wind. Above it all, the sky, once a canvas of deepest blue, now blazes with the vibrant colors of sunrise. Crimson streaks blend with soft purples and delicate pinks, painting a breathtaking panorama. On the Palatine Hill, a poet stands silhouetted against the fiery glow. His lyre resting on his shoulders, he gazes upward. He sees not just the sunrise, but the birth of inspiration, the first light of a new poem waiting to be written. As the sun climbs higher, banishing the last traces of night, Rome stirs with renewed vigor. The marketplace will soon be a whirlwind of activity. The Senate will buzz with debate, and the Colosseum will echo with the roar of the crowd. But for now, in the hushed moments before the morning light, the city savors the peace, preparing to meet the day with open arms. The experience of a lifetime awaits. When the city sleeps, adventure unfolds. It's a time for exploration, a chance to uncover the hidden stories that breathe life into ancient Rome. The streets become pathways through time. Each turn offering a new surprise. You might stumble upon a secret garden tucked away from prying eyes, where fragrant blooms whisper tales of Roman night. Or perhaps you'll find an open-air bathhouse, its marble still warm from the embers of a recent bath. And as you venture further, you might hear the distant strains of a lyre, a lonely tune echoing the sentiments of a lovesick poet or a triumphant general. The night is alive with stories waiting to be discovered. And as you walk, you become part of the narrative, your footsteps echoing the steps of those who came before. So keep your senses sharp, your curiosity alive, because in the heart of ancient Rome, where shadows dance and legends linger, the night holds wonders beyond your wildest dream. If you enjoyed this nocturnal journey, I invite you to show your support. Your engagement fuels our explorations, allowing us to bring more immersive tales to life. And if you'd like to continue your journey through time, don't forget to subscribe for more adventures. Until next time, sleep well, dream deeply, and may the echoes of ancient Rome resonate in your dreams. Part to hearth and home. The sun sets over the forum, painting the sky with streaks of orange and purple. Across the Tiber River, a young man named Caius adjusts his travel cloak, readying himself for the evening chill. Peace spent the day exploring Rome, taking in its bustling energy and grand sights. Posh. But now he feels the pull of rest and the promise of a warm meal. As twilight deepens, he turns towards the domus, where he's staying, eager to experience a slice of everyday Roman life within its walls. As he steps through the entrance and into the atrium, the noise of the city fades away like a distant echo. Sunlight streams in through the open compluvium, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. In the center, an old woman sits on a stone bench, her wrinkled face etched with the stories of a life well lived. She looks up at Caius, her eyes twinkling with kindness. "You've been gone a long time," she says, her voice raspy with age, but filled with warmth. "I thought you would never return." It's clear that this is not just a casual greeting. For someone who isn't a family member or close friend, there is a depth of familiarity in her tone. Poof. That suggests a bond forged over years of shared moments in this very atrium. In response to her comment about his absence, Caius offers a sheepish smile and a quick explanation. "I wanted to see all that Rome has to show," he says, gesturing vaguely to his "and now I am back." P takes a moment to truly appreciate the space around him, acknowledging the comfort and stability it offers after a day of exploration. "Come," the woman says, rising from her seat and extending a gnarled hand to help him off with his travel cloak. "Let me show you what we have prepared for you." She leads him through the house, each room telling its own story. Brew in the cubiculum, where he slept last night. A young woman stirs, awakening from her slumber. She stretches, her limbs finding their bearings after a night of restful sleep. Her gaze drifts to Kaya's, and a smile touches her lips as she recognizes the guest who had stayed here the previous night. With a graceful movement, she rises from her bed, her steps soft upon the cushioned floor. She's dressed in a simple tunic, the fabric draping elegantly around her form. Her dark hair is neatly braided, a single golden circlet adorning her head. She moves with an air of quiet confidence, her presence commanding respect without any trace of arrogance. In the atrium, the woman who's revealed herself as Caius's grandmother beckons to him. "Come, sit here with me," she says, her eyes crinkling at the corners as she gestures to a nearby chair. "It's time for breakfast." Taking a seat, Caius observes the preparations with interest. His grandmother moves with surprising agility for one so old, fetching items from various spots around the atrium. Soon, a modest yet inviting breakfast is set before them. Fresh figs and grapes are laid out alongside crusty bread, cheese, and bowls of olive. A clay oil lamp is lit, casting a warm glow over the scene. A young girl enters the atrium, her steps light and eager. She's adorned in a simple white tunic that reaches her ankles, her dark hair braided neatly behind her. As she approaches, Caius notices a small basket in her hands, which she sets down beside the figs and grapes. The girl's eyes shine with a mix of shyness and excitement as she looks up at Caius, sensing his gaze upon her. She speaks in a sweet, high-pitched voice. "Here, you must try these. My sister and I picked them this morning before sunrise." She gestures to the figs with a small smile gracing her lips. Caius, charmed by both the offering and the girl's spirit, reaches out to take a fig. "They are lovely," he says, meeting a gaze. "And so are you." As he does, he catches the eye of her mother, who gives him a knowing smile. "She likes to make new friends," the mother says, her voice laced with amusement. "But enough of that. Come, sit with us and tell us about your travels." And so their morning continues, filled with laughter and shared stories, as the atrium basks. Over the next few days, Caius becomes part of the family's routine, sharing meals in the atrium and enjoying the comforting familiarity of their home. One evening, as the sun begins its descent and shadows stretch across the courtyard, Caius finds himself drawn to a small, unassuming corner of the dome. Here, nestled between the columns that support the roof, is the familiar's shrine, simple yet meaningful. It holds a clay bust of Laris, the household gods, alongside offerings of fruit and flowers. Pews as Caius observes the family's devotion. He notices a gentle smile gracing the old woman's lips, her eyes shining with a deep-rooted faith. He asks her, "Can I join you in this prayer?" The woman turns to him, her gaze kind and welcoming. "Provos," she says, her voice filled with warmth. "All who share our home are welcome to pray with us." As the family gathers, Caius listens intently as the woman, his grandmother, leads them in a prayer to the Lares, expressing gratitude for their blessings and seeking their continued favor. After the prayer, she invites him to leave his own requests with the Lares, assuring him that they will be heard. touched by their hospitality and intrigued by their beliefs, Caius takes a moment to whisper his own desires to the silent gods. That evening, after the family is retired for the night, Caius finds himself restless, unable to sleep. He steps out into the quiet of the night and makes his way to the roof. Gazing up at the star-studded sky, he feels a sense of wonder and disconnection from his own life. At this moment, a familiar figure joins him, his grandmother. She, too, seems lost in contemplation of the heavens. Recognizing his presence, she offers a gentle smile and a quiet greeting. Sensing her understanding of his inner turmoil, Caius turns to her and asks, "How can I find my place in the world?" P's voice echoing his confusion and longing for direction. But his grandmother listens patiently, her gaze fixed on the stars as if seeking guidance from the heavens themselves. When she finally turns back to him, her eyes filled with wisdom and compassion, her voice resonates with the calmness that has always drawn him to her. "Your place," she begins, her words carefully chosen, "is where your heart finds solace and your purpose shines brightly." She pauses, allowing her words to sink in before continuing. "Look within yourself, young one, for the answers lie dormant within your soul." Her words hang in the night air, a gentle challenge and a source of comfort. And as Caius absorbs her enigmatic guidance, he feels a glimmer of hope amidst the darkness of his uncertainty. With newfound determination, Caius returns to the familiar haven of the atrium the following morning. The sight that greets him is one of peaceful domesticity. The woman who had welcomed him so warmly as his grandmother is seated at the central table, her weathered hands deftly kneading dough while soft murmurs fill the air. As he watches, a young boy enters the atrium, his movements light and graceful. With a playful grin, he leaps onto a nearby stool, catching the attention of the woman who looks up from her task. Her gaze, filled with fondness, meets his, and a smile touches her lip. "Good morning, little one," she says, her voice laced with affection. "Did you sleep well?" "Bitch," the boy, in response, jumps down from the stool and rushes to the woman, wrapping his small arms around her leg. "Yes, Nona," he says, his voice bubbling with energy. "And I had the best dream. I flew like an eagle and touched the clouds." The woman chuckles, her eyes crinkling at the corners. "What a wondrous dream," she says, gently stroking the boy's hair. "Perhaps the eagles were sharing their secrets with you." As their conversation continues, Caius feels a pang of longing for the kind of deep familial connection he sees unfolding before him. Caius finds solace and a renewed appreciation for the richness of human connection. As the morning sunlight streams through the compluvium, bathing the atrium in a golden glow, Caius knows that this moment of tranquility won't last forever. The responsibilities of his journey and the allure of further exploration beckon him beyond the protective walls of this peaceful domus. With a mix of gratitude and reluctance, he prepares to say his goodbyes. Before leaving, he takes a moment to express his heartfelt thanks to the family for their kindness and the invaluable memories he has created within their home. Their generosity and warmth have touched him deeply, leaving an imprint on his heart that will endure long after his departure. As Caius steps out of the domus and back onto the bustling streets of Rome, he carries with him the essence of the quiet strength he's witnessed within those four walls. The echoes of laughter, the aroma of freshly baked bread, and the unwavering love that bound the family together resonate within him, reminding him of the beauty of simplicity and the profound impact of human connection. Story for temples and dreams. Tonight, we travel to Rome, where the Tiber River murmurs secrets to the stones beneath its waves. It is here among these ancient walls that time grows thin and legend takes root. We will wander through the Forum, where Caesar's ghosts walk among the ruins. We will stand before the Pantheon, where gods of old mingle with mortals, and we will seek solace in the quiet corners of this timeless city, where the echoes of prayer still linger in the air. Are you ready? Then let us begin. Hook a cobblestone path winds through the heart of Rome, each stone a silent witness to the footsteps of emperors and the murmur of everyday life. The light of 1,000 lanterns dances on the weathered walls, turning the familiar into something strange and magical. And at the end of this path, nestled between ancient columns and shaded by vines, awaits a clearing, bathed in the silver glow of moonlight. Here the air grows still, and the sounds of the city fade. For you rises an altar, adorned with wreaths of laurel, and upon it a single flickering flame. This is the eternal flame of Vesta, the goddess of hearth and home. It burns in the temple dedicated to her, tended by the Vestal virgins, priestesses who guard its sacred spark for Rome's safety and prosperity. You approach, drawn by its gentle warmth and the hushed reverence of those gathered around. They are pilgrims like you, seeking solace and guidance in this tranquil space. Some are Roman senators, their faces etched with the weariness of power. Others are humble folk, drawn by the promise of Vesta's gentle wisdom. Prass, and here, in the flickering shadow play, you find yourself enveloped by the stories of Rome, its triumphs and its struggles, its hopes and its fears. For this flame is more than just fire. It is a beacon of unity, a testament to endurance, and a symbol of the enduring spirit of humanity. It flickers a silent heartbeat in the vast darkness, and you are humbled by its quiet strength. But Vesta is not the only deity whose presence graces this sacred ground. Farther down the path, nestled between towering marble structures, stands the temple of Asclepius, the god of healing. Its columns, though weathered by time, still reach towards the heavens, and within its shadowed depths, a marble serpent coiled around a staff gleams softly in the moonlight. Drawn by curiosity, or perhaps a need for solace, you step inside. The air within is thick with incense and hushed whispers, and there on a simple stone altar, a small clay bowl filled with oil and wine sits waiting. It is an offering to Asclepius, a gesture of faith and hope. There, here you meet Marcus, a man who has walked 4 days from a distant village, his steps guided by faith and desperation. His clothes are dusty, his face lined with worry and terror, and he carries with him the weight of unanswered prayers and a sick child waiting for his return. As you watch, he carefully bathes the cloth in the holy oil and wine, murmuring a prayer so heartfelt that even the shadows seem to lean closer to listen. Then he lays the cloth on the cold stone and lays down himself, closing his eyes in quiet supplication. Asclepius is known for granting his favors in dreams, and Marcus has come seeking a cure for his child. With a final whispered plea, he surrenders to sleep, hoping for a vision, a sign, anything that can guide him back to his child with answers. As the night deepens, the temple grows quieter. The only sound, the soft rustle of pilgrims' robes and the distant murmur of the city. Outside, the eternal flame of Vesta burns steadily, casting long shadows that dance and weave across the temple floor. And in the stillness, you are enveloped by the dreams and prayers of those around you, each one a testament to the enduring human spirit. Then suddenly, above the whispering leaves of the trees, a new sound rises. It's the faint tinkling of a flute carried on the evening breeze and growing ever more clear. Soon, it is joined by the rhythmic beat of a drum and the resonant notes of a harp. A procession emerges from the shadows, their forms lit by flickering torches. At their head walks a priest, his robes flowing behind him like waves, and his hands raised in a gesture of welcome. Behind him, other figures dance, each carrying a torch that flickers like a fallen star. As they draw nearer, you see that each dancer seems to embody a different aspect of the divine, their movements echoing the ebb and flow of nature itself. There is Diana the huntress, her steps sure and graceful as she moves with the rhythm of the forest. And beside her, the youthful Apollo, his flute held high as he leads the dance, with melodies that seem to flow from his very soul. Then comes Minerva, the goddess of wisdom, her torch held aloft, casting an ethereal glow on her thoughtful features as she adds her measured steps to the growing harmony. They move through the clearing, their dance a celebration of life, a hymn to the beauty of the natural world, and a tribute to the blessings of the Roman Empire. And as they twirl and leap and sing, you feel a sense of joy and wonder wash over you, a reminder of the magic that can be found in the simplest of moments. But their dance is not just for your amusement. It is an offering, a prayer, a way of giving thanks to the gods for their protection and guidance. And as you watch, you realize that you too are part of this community, bound together by your shared humanity, your love for the land and your devotion to the gods. And then, as suddenly as they appeared, they vanished back into the shadows, leaving you alone in the flickering torchlight. The music fades, the laughter dies away, and only the soft murmur of the river remains. You are left in the embrace of the eternal flame, surrounded by the spirits of the gods and the hopes and dreams of the people. And in this moment, you know that you are part of something larger than yourself, connected to the ancient past and the uncertain future by the timeless threads of human experience. For a moment, you hesitate, contemplating the mysteries of the universe, the vastness of time, and the fragility of existence. The flickering flames cast dancing shadows on the temple walls, transforming the mundane into the magical. And you are reminded of the beauty and wonder that can be found in the darkest of nights. As the night deepens, the stars emerge, one by one, their pinpricks of light twinkling like distant fires. You look up, feeling the insignificance of your earthly concerns and the grandeur of the cosmos envelop you. In this timeless expanse, you find solace, perspective, and a renewed appreciation for the gift of life. The gentle rustling of leaves and the distant murmur of the Tiber River create a soothing melody that lulls you into a state of peaceful contemplation. You close your eyes, letting the soft night breeze caress your skin, and carrying the scent of blooming jasmine and the sweet nectar of honeysuckle. And as the hours pass, you drift into a state of deep relaxation, your worries and troubles fading into the tapestry of the night. In this sanctuary of dreams, you encounter the spirits of the gods who watch over you, offering their blessings and guidance. You feel their presence, not as a tangible form, but as a comforting energy that surrounds you, enveloping you in their divine embrace. They are the guardians of your soul, ensuring your journey through the night is filled with tranquility and hope. And when the first rays of dawn begin to paint the eastern sky, you awaken feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. The dreams you've shared with the spirits of the dead linger in your mind, weaving their magic and leaving you with a sense of peace and clarity. You are ready to face the day with renewed vigor, knowing that you have basked in the timeless embrace of ancient dreams. And if this journey through the Eternal City brought you peace, please help ancient dreams grow. Like, subscribe, and share with someone who needs rest tonight. For this channel is all I have, and every subscription and every dream you share keeps my dreams alive too. Sleep better, dream deeper. Good night. Preet, Story 3. The Soldier's Rest. The legionary raises his head, startled by the sudden commotion at the edge of the camp. As he watches, a guard stumbles back from the darkness beyond the firelight, his eyes wide with alarm. In a flash, he's shouting, "Barbarians! They're attacking!" And every man is scrambling for his weapon. Within moments, the clearing is alive with movement, soldiers roaring as they grab their shields and scutum, the javelins, short swords, and peel. There is a general murmur of fear and anger, the sounds of men preparing for battle. With a shout that barely carries over the din, the centurion gives the order to charge. The soldiers swarm forward, crashing through the underbrush. As they go, they loose a volley of peel, the sharp metal-tipped darts finding their marks and sending the barbarians reeling. But more keep coming. The attack is relentless. The Romans press on, their discipline holding firm, even as the wild men hack and slash at them with their crude weapons. And though the Romans fight bravely, there are far too many of the Gauls, and their fury knows no bound. One of the legionaries cries out, clutching at his side as a wooden club crushes his shield and finds purchase in his ribs. Another staggers. Blood trickling down his arm after a wild swing catches him across the bracer. Their numbers dwindling, the Romans fall back, forming a circle around their wagons and precious supply. The centurion bellows orders, trying to rally his men. But it's clear that this will be a night of bloodshed. The moon hangs high in the sky, cold and uncaring, as the Romans struggle to hold their ground. For 4 hours, they beat back the Gauls again and again, each attack more vicious than the last. But with each passing moment, the defenders become more weary, their armor soaked through with sweat and blood. And then, just when it seems that they may yet prevail, a new force crashes into their right flank. It's the cavalry, and they come screaming into the fray, their swords flashing like lightning. With renewed vigor, the Romans drive their attackers back. But it's a Pyrrhic victory. Their ranks are shattered. Their supplies are gone. And worst of all, the cavalry is nowhere to. Quote, "We have fought like lions," growls a wounded soldier, sinking to his knees in the dirt. "But we cannot win." "I know it," another nods, grimly in agreement. "Let them kill us if they wish. We have fought well." "But," a third man shakes his head. "No, we fight another day." There is always another day. As the first rays of sunlight touch the horizon, the Romans abandon their camp, leaving it and everything in it to the mercy of the barbarian. They march down a tree-lined road, their heads bowed in shame. By the day before, they were confident, cocky even. But now the reality of their defeat weighs heavy on them. I am ashamed to live," one whispers bitterly. But it is worse to die," replies another, his voice filled with sorrow. As they walk, their captain falls farther and farther behind. Soon, he's so far gone that the others must turn back to see if he's all right. When they find him, he sits slumped against a tree, his eyes staring sightlessly ahead. "Captain," says one of the men softly, "come on, we must keep moving." But the captain doesn't stir. To their horror, they realize that he's dead, shamed and broken. The Romans bury him in a shallow grave and press on. Behind them, the camp burns, the flames licking hungrily at the sky. And with that, I bring you the end of our campaign. You have survived countless battles, skirmishes and sieges, but your story is over now. You and your fellow legionaries have suffered defeats that shook the very foundations of Rome. The Gauls have proven a tenacious foe, forcing you into battles that tested the mettle of your entire legion. Your enemies attacked from hidden lairs in the forest, ambushing your supply columns, and even daring to lay siege to your camps. But through it all, you and your comrades stood firm. You faced down rampaging hordes, chased elusive warbands through tangled thickets, and endured the frustration of sieges that seemed to stretch on forever. Yet still you pressed on, ever pushing deeper into the heart of Gaul. Along the way, goodbye, you made allies, forged bonds of brotherhood that transcended language and custom. You learned the ways of your enemies, understanding their strengths and exploiting their weaknesses. And you discovered new strategies, adapting to the challenges that each battle threw at you. B grew as a soldier and as a man, learning the true meaning of courage, resilience, and loyalty. And now, as the campaign draws to a close, you carry with you the scars of your victories and the wisdom of your defeats. The road ahead is long and uncertain, but you are ready. B, you are a veteran of 1,000 battles, tempered by fire and forged in the heart of Gaul. And if this journey brought you peace, please help ancient dreams grow. Like, subscribe, and share with someone who needs rest tonight. For this channel is all I have, and every subscription and every dream you share keeps my dreams alive too.